What I want to do in this video is introduce you to the concept of subtracting decimals. And just like if you were adding a decimal, you don't want to line up the numbers by the digits itself. So the way I wrote this problem would be incorrect. What you want to do instead is just like adding decimals, you want to line the decimals up and then line the numbers up afterwards. So this problem right here is wrong, so we can rewrite it. So the actual problem would be 11.36. And then we can start out with the decimal just to make sure that we don't end up lining it up wrong. And then 8.482. And since we have an extra number here, we can just go ahead and use a 0 to fill in the spot since it does not change the value of the number itself. And then we'll just subtract this number just like you would subtract any other number. So see the 6 here, get a 5, this would be 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. You can't subtract 8 from 5 unless it would be a negative number, so make this a 2, add 10, 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. You can't subtract 4 from 2, so you're going to make this a 0, and this would be 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. Drop down your decimal here. You can't subtract 8 from 0, so we're going to make this a 0, and this a 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. So the answer to this problem would be 2.878. And you got this just by lining up the decimals and then subtracting it like any other number. So we'll go ahead and do some example problems so you can understand how to do this better. So in this problem it says subtract 3.91 from 8.3. So we can go ahead and write our problem down. 8.3, and we can already see that there's going to be more places to the left or right of the decimal, so we can go ahead and add a 0 here just to fill in the space. And then we're subtracting 3.91 from this number, so we can, and then 0 minus 1, we have to take away a digit from this. That would make this 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. We can't subtract 9 from 2, so we'll make this 7. Add 10 to the place to the right of it, so this would be a 12. 9 minus 12 is 3. Drop down your decimal place. And then 3 minus 7, or 7 minus 3, rather, is 4. So our answer to problem 2 is 4.39. The next problem says subtract 21.213 from 98.4. So we can go ahead and write this problem down as well. 98.4. Make sure to line up the decimals here. 21.213. And we can go ahead and fill in these digit places with zeros. In this case, since there's a 0 to the left of it, we can take one digit from the digits placed 2 places to the right. So this would turn into a 3, and this would turn into a 10. But we still need something to subtract from here, so we're going to actually take a digit away from this and make it 9. Then this would be 10. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 1 is 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. Drop down your decimal place. 8 minus 1 is 7 again, and then 9 minus 2 is 7. So your answer to problem number 3 is 77.187, or 187 thousandths. Question 4 asks us to subtract 8.37 from 9. So we can go ahead and write 9. And notice here on the number we're subtracting by, there's 2 places to the right of the decimal. And we can add a decimal and fill in some zeros since this does not change the value of the number. We're subtracting 8.37 from it. And just like the last problem, notice that there's not a value to the left, so we're going to have to go 2 to the left. And take away 8, turn this into a 10. We still need something else, so we'll turn it into a non. And then we change this to a 10. And then 10 minus 7 is 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. Drop down your decimal place. And 8 minus 8 is 0. So our answer to this problem is 0.63. And our last problem tells us that Derek had 3.17 ounces of a dark chocolate bar. He melted and mixed 1.9 ounces into his cake batter. And the question wants us to figure out how many ounces of the chocolate bar does he have left. And I encourage you to try this problem before I go over it. Okay, so to find how many ounces he has left, we're going to need to take the initial value, or the amount of the dark chocolate bar that he had to begin with, which would be 3.17 ounces. And we're going to need to take away the amount he used. And it says, the problem says right here, he used 1.9 ounces. So we're going to subtract 1.9 ounces. We can put a 0 here to fill in the spot. And we can subtract these values. So 7 minus 0 is 7. 1 minus 9 would get us a negative number, so we need to take 1 out of this, and taking a 1 value out of the ones place and putting it into the tenths place would add 10 to the value, so this will be 11 now. 11. And 11 minus 9 is 2. Remember to drop down our decimal place here. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. So the answer to this problem, how many ounces of the chocolate bar does he have left? He has 1.27 ounces.